All right, well, that earthquake everybody's heard and experienced here in the last 45 minutes is Nick Saban retiring at Alabama. That's right. Nick Saban out as head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I'm going to break it down for you a little bit about what this means. There's certainly some interesting candidates people are talking about too, so we might get into that just a little bit. But first and foremost, Nick Saban, as everybody knows, is the most dominant college football coach probably in the history of the game. He's had a run over the last 15 years or so down there at Alabama that's unbelievable, okay? So all credit to him. He's great to listen to, on his news conferences, always talking about rat poison, and I'm a big Orange fan. I still like to listen to him. I really appreciate how good he is. But now he's out, okay? So the Alabama Crimson Tide, you think about it, like who's going to come in there and take over this situation in an SEC that no longer has the weak West and also has Texas and Oklahoma coming in. Big Orange getting stronger. Dogs are strong. Ole Miss, think about it. I mean, now we got a real dogfight in the SEC for coming up 2024 season. Now, what's a likely scenario for down there at Alabama? Well, first and foremost, any player who is a Nick Saban disciple is going to get in that portal so fast it's going to make your head swim. Now, there may be some guys that are just Crimson Tide people, and they're going to play at Alabama, and they don't care who's coaching them. So there's a lot of them guys too now. But there's going to be some portal jumpers, I'd say, over the course of the next 3 weeks, probably heavier than Alabama's seen ever. So their talent's going to get diluted just a little bit, okay, which is leveling the playing field. Now, who's the coach that's going to come walking in there and say, okay, I'm ready to take over this team and make something happen? I'm hoping, I don't think it's true though, but I'm hoping that Saban had a succession plan with the people that run the university, and they've got a good man in mind, and everybody knows who's going to be, and so there can be an orderly process here. If that's not the case, and they're on their own to go pick somebody, there's some obvious names that kind of come to mind. First of all, Dabo over there at Clemson. He makes sense because he's Alabama. He played at Alabama. And he's won national title before and fielded some good teams. So he's a guy you Crimson Tide fans may be looking to see come in there. Now, I personally think that Lane Kiffin would be the best guy they could get. Now, I don't want to see him go over there because he's too good of a coach. I want some terrible coach over there. But Lane Kiffin probably is the guy who could step in there and do the most with kind of, the momentum that they already have. Some other guys are talking about the coach out here at Oregon. I think he supposedly was a defensive-minded guy who was with Kirby over at Alabama. That's so I'm picking up the bones of that conversation. But that could be it, too. So that's kind of the top three names that kind of come to, the forefront here on this 10th of January, 2024, when the earthquake has hit the Southeastern Conference. So what are the prospects of this team in 2024? There's no doubt about the fact that whoever comes in over there is going to struggle. And when they do, that Alabama fan base who goes crazy when Alabama Crimson Tide under Saban loses a game on the last play of the game, they're going to go crazy. I mean, we're going to see some of the craziest fans in the history of college football in 2024 down there in Alabama, especially if they get somebody who's not really already wired into the systems over there. And then here comes Josh Heupel with the Big Orange and Nico, and we run them out of town. I think Bama's got to go to Neyland Stadium, which is automatic W for the Vols. Now you can just mark that and down. Then you got to play LSU and all these other people. I think they got to play Georgia Bulldogs this year. I mean, it's just not looking good. And that might be part of the reason why old Nick decided I'm done. He's looking at that schedule, and he's like, okay, I can't hide over here in the West. So now it's like, hey, man, I think it might be time for me to go jump ship and go to ESPN and, kind of relax and play some golf and that sort of thing. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens now here in the Southeastern Conference of football coming up for 2024, because, man, all the talk in the world is who's going to get the Alabama job and how many players are jumping ship, and everything down there's a dumpster fire and everything else. So anyway, it's going to be fun to watch. But as a Volunteer fan, I can say, you know what? Saban was a good coach, but I sure am glad he's gone. See yous later.